start. So we've अभी तक हमने जो चीज़ें डिस्कस की थी चैप्टर नंबर 8 में स्पेसिफिकली क्विक ओवरव्यू ले लेते हैं विद इन अ मिनट. सो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड द लीगल फ्रेमवर्क जिसमें पेस्टल का एल था जिसको हमने डिस्कस किया. लॉ को हमने देखा रिलेटेड टू द एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस. Related to the employment practices, we discussed about the recruitment laws, termination laws. Then we discussed about the health and safety laws by the businesses and its impact on the employees. Then we discussed about the minimum wage rates that has an impact on the business employees and motivation levels. Then we discussed about the trade union rights and the responsibilities. So what is trade union and what are the rights of that trade union and what are the responsibilities of the trade union? We've discussed that in detail. Then yesterday we discussed about the consumer rights and how that acts as a marketing tactics. So this was the thing which we have discussed. And today we'll be and yesterday in fact we have discussed about the competition as well, like the situation of the monopoly. If we are getting the free and fair market, what's happening with us, and if we are not getting that in the monopolistic conditions, what are the pros and cons which we are going to have after that. So these were the actual things which we have discussed. So employment practices, number one, then health and safety laws in the employment practices, then the minimum wage rate, then the employment practices, trade union things, then law of marketing and consumer right. These were the things which we yesterday discussed. Then moving on to the next thing, which was law and business competition. So laws related to the competition, that is free and fair market versus the monopoly, which we have discussed yesterday. Now, then the last thing which we discussed yesterday was the social audit report. What was that? Basically, that is not a mandatory requirement by the governments, but with the passage of time, corporate sector actually tends to publish these reports frequently, just like they are publishing their financial audit report. So financial audit report is a mandatory requirement for the public and private limited companies, whereas the social audit report is not a mandatory requirement. It's not enforced by law, but it is kind of an ethical practice which has been done by these particular corporate sectors. So what is the audit report and what are the impacts of these things? We have discussed that yesterday as well. So today we're supposed to discuss the T of the PESTEL, that is the impact of technology on the business activity. Okay, talking about the technology. What do you mean by technology?
ये बाद में cover करेंगे.
Yes, please. Sorry?
E बाद में cover
Yeah,
करेंगे.
E.
Like
We'll
अभी
be discussing the E. We have actually discussed the CSR thing, which was related to the E already in the past paper, but we will think about that. We'll discuss about that in detail as well, because I'm just following the structure given in your Cambridge syllabus, so I'm not changing that. So that you can easily find out these topics in your book whenever you are skim reading through that thing. So the structure is like that. Then just a quick question. What is technology? Like whenever we talk about technology, is it all about like just the computer systems, just the automation? No, it is all related to the infrastructure of the business. It is related to the methodologies which we are adopting in producing something. It is all about the techniques as well which we are adopting, and utilization of the machinery, mechanization. Everything is involved in the technology. And you know that the technology has improvised an efficiency in every sector. For the last 2 decades, we have seen that with the advent of the mechanization and with the advent of automation, robotics, such things have actually improvised the performance in the production sector mainly. Plus, it has also improvised the services sector, like talking about the healthcare services. We have seen a very major improvement just after inventing these type of mechanization being introduced in those. Plus, so every sector is taking an advantage of this thing. Now, the second point says that the technological factors can be broadly divided into 2 areas. So we normally divide technology in 2 ways. One is related to the manufacturing. Second is related to the infrastructure. So when you are improvising the production of any particular thing, it is called as manufacturing technology or technology related to the manufacturing sector. But if you are developing an infrastructure, infrastructure means the computer systems in the schools are the part of infrastructure. Similarly, the computer systems been used by the management of any production sector is called as infrastructure. So the things which are directly involved in the production is related to the manufacturing, and anything else than the production or the services sector or even the management sector of the production is called as infrastructure in short. Organizations that fail to keep up with the technological advances leave opportunities for the smaller producer or new entrant to enter their market. So this is kind of a biggest threat being faced by the large scale businesses. We have discussed about the adaptability many of the times in the past lessons. We talked about uh, the companies like Konica, who were ruled out of the market just because they were not adaptable to the updated technology of digital cameras. Similarly, Nokia didn't adapted themselves up to the updated software technology of Android and such type of things. So they didn't adapt it. They were forced to remain into the Symbian-based systems, and they were ruled out of the market in the mobile sector. So the companies always have to be adaptable to the new technology. If we are not adaptable, what will happen? The new business will enter into the market by seeing that gap. Because remember one important point over there, it is always difficult for a large scale business to adapt towards a new technology because it is a large scale. Adaptability comes with a cost. If you want to upgrade your machinery and you are having approximately, for instance, we say that you have got gigantic 10 machines in your production sector, obviously upgrading all of them will require a lot of costs. Against that business, which is a small scale business, which is started, which is just a startup, it will require just one more machine. That's it. So that upgrading one machine is an easier thing, and it's a cost effective approach against upgrading 10 machines by a large scale sector. So we see that the large scale sector bears a higher cost of upgradation towards the technology, and that is what it makes them reluctant to upgrade to that. So what happens? The small scale sector or the new entrant or the startup it, invests in the upgraded technology, introduces that, make themselves efficient, and in turn start grabbing the market share and start becoming the competitor of that large scale business who were reluctant, right? So this is
Okay, sir.
always the natural scenario being faced by the large scale businesses because upgradation comes with a cost. Okay, now let's have a look at some of the examples in technology. So businesses have transformed themselves using the technology. The first example is the technology transform operations. How? So if you are in a manufacturing concerns, if you are in an operations concern, specifically rather than talking about the manufacturing, let's talk about the operations only. By operations, we mean the operations like supervision of the staff. With the technology, we have got the the surveillance systems, we have got the security systems. Now we can have the upgraded check-in and check-out systems through thumb impressions. So what happens through that, the efficiency is regularly and religiously monitored by the companies. So if whenever you are measuring the efficiency of an employee 24/7, whenever they are working with you, with check-in check-out systems and upgraded technology, this is obviously related to the management, and we call it
So
management.
we भी आ सकते हैं, like giving them facilities by giving them air conditions and
Yeah,
heaters. ये भी आ सकते हैं.
giving them air condition is also motivating them and improvising the efficiency of them.
हाँ.
So, but when we talk about technology, one thing is technology, another thing is the electronic gadgets, right? So we have to differentiate. It becomes really difficult to differentiate between these things sometimes, because air conditioning is kind of a thing which is not related to the information technology or technology in such, because it is
Okay.
supporting. But when we talk about the safety systems, let's suppose if an employee is working in a machine and the safety system is installed in the machines, that whenever he's going to give any wrong input which can cause harm to himself as well, the machinery is not going to take the input from that particular guy. So this is kind of a safety system for the employee. So we call it technology at that point, which is going to help that out. The second type is the stock management. So you have seen that initially the stocks were being managed by the manual systems on the registers. Then we upgraded towards the computer systems. Then the software started developing like Sage, like Oracle Financials. So we have got these type of software being used in the big firms. And then after that, we have started working on the automation of the transactions. So, or the automation of the stock management. The finest example of automation of the stock management is seen in the Amazon, where most of the things are stocked and delivered through robots. So it is kind of the fine example of stock management. And by advent of this technology, again, we have improvised the efficiency. There is always a lesser need for the people, and there are lesser chances of errors as well. Again, related to the management technology. Third point, track activity of the business growth. So again, management technology. So you have got the software, the consumer relationship management softwares. So now we have got this, just like I gave you an example of Sage and Oracle Financials. What are these softwares? These softwares are having multiple modules attached with one another. For instance, you are inputting the data of the sales. The human resource is inputting the data of efficiency of the human resource. Then the marketing department input their own data of advertisement expenses. Then the finance department input their own data. What happens at the end? All of this data is compiled in one software, and you can generate a report of all of these things together by one, just after one click. And there is always an option of customized reporting systems. So by that customized report, rather than 10 or 20 people meeting together and working on one fine report for the owner, now these softwares are helping them out to generate the reports automatically. So all of the departments are inputting their own things, and at the end of the day, the report is generated on one click. So talking about companies like Nestle, Unilever, so such companies are inputting their data in one software, which is a server-based software. So if anyone adding up the sales data in Pakistan or in any city of Pakistan like Karachi, so what happens is the person who is sitting in the head office of Nestle is seeing that data live over there, and he can actually trigger the action if he sees that there is a decline in the sale. So now we are seeing that the actions are being done rapidly rather than waiting for the communication to come in. So communication is becoming rapid, and obviously it is increasing the growth and the productivity level of the company. Now, the fourth point, increase in the productivity level. Talking about the production sector, that is why we call it production technology. Again, collaboration and outsourcing is done in communication based technologies, like as I've told you, the example of this communication through the software systems is becoming easy. Rather than sending the emails to everyone and asking data from them, now the softwares are automatically generating the bills, the invoices for the customers. It is sending the automated alert system to the supplier, so that whenever your inventory level is coming down, for instance. So rather than you sending the email to the supplier or talking or calling the supplier and asking him about the new stock, what happens is this software automatically generates a report or generates an order for that particular supplier. And you just got an alert that this particular report is ready. On just one click, you get it sent. So that's how the communication is getting rapid, rather than waiting for writing the whole long emails or proper orders. Now the stock levels is automatically managed, and the orders are automatically generated by the softwares. So we have improvised in that as well. This is helping out the businesses. Then talking about the securing sensitive information. So again, it is not just about the software, it is about securing the data. That is the key, because if your data is accessed by your competitor, what will happen? He's going to take the advantage of it. So
Yes.
the biggest or you can say the most expensive thing on this earth is not gold, not copper, or not even diamond, but right now the most expensive thing on earth is the information. If an
Mm,
information is leaked, that is going to create a lot of trouble. right?
Yes, sir.
We have gone through the things like WikiLeaks and such type of things have like toppled the governments in the countries. So it has got a major impact for many of the countries. So we have seen that if such information is leaked out, it is going to have a very negative impact on our businesses, and competitors are going to take advantage of it, obviously. So
मतलब सर अब न्यू सॉफ्टवेयर्स हैं डाटा सेव करने के.
yeah, we keep on updating the patches in these software. Every other day we see the updates in the Windows. Every other day we see the updates from the softwares, Android systems, and even the mobile phones is coming up with the latest patches. So what are these patches? Simply to secure the data, right? Then digital marketing strategies are also being utilized. We take the help from the IT for developing the digital marketing strategies. By digital marketing, we mean marketing on the social media, marketing on the digital channels, e-commerce. So it is kind of a new thing. Still, it's kind of a new thing because we are learning through the processes, and we're trying to learn the algorithms been of Google and Facebook to advertise our stuff in a better way, so that if we are targeting the consumer in a better, the cost of advertisement will be less, and we will be reaching out the consumer very easily with the lesser costs, and the sales will be increased. So that is what every company is struggling for. So digital marketing strategies, again, in IT is helping us out in reaching the consumer with a lower cost. So rather
सर
than,
लाइक यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग नॉलेज अबाउट योर स्टफ ऑन इंटरनेट. सबको
yeah,
घर बैठ के इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल रही है.
not just about the knowledge, but about reaching the right people at the right time. That's important. For instance, you see that if you are hanging a billboard in any busy road, how many of the people are going to watch it? That's the question. For instance, if let's suppose we say that 1,000 people are going to pass by that board, out of that, let's suppose 100 people are going to see that. But out of those 100, there may be only one or two people who are actually the client of that particular, or who are the potential customer of that particular brand, right?
यस सर.
So talking about an academy, let's suppose if an academy is having a billboard over there, 1,000 people watch it, but not all of them are customers. So out of 1,000, 100 may see it, and out of 100, there are only 5 or 6 students who can be the potential client of that. So what's the rate? It is even less than 5%. So if it was 5 out of 100, it was 5%. If this is 5 out of
तो
1,000,
एक
that means it is
एक
just
और
5% of the potential client.
सर इससे एक और बेनिफिट भी हो सकता है ना कि लाइक आप डिजिटल मार्केटिंग कर रहे हो तो आपको लाइक लेस कॉस्ट में पड़ जाएगा वो.
That's the point exactly. So over here, the 0.5%, you are spending the money, and only 0.5% are the potential customers. Rest of the 99.5% people are useless people for you. You are wasting your money on them because they are not even your customers. So that was the problem with the conventional advertisements. So what happens is the social media actually addresses this thing. So the conversion rate is too good. For instance, when we advertise on Facebook or any platform of Meta, even LinkedIn or Google, we have the targeting features. They give us the ability to target the people according to their age, according to their gender, according to their interests, and even according to the type of products which they have bought in the past. So if we want to target the students, if I do advertise most of the times, being the uh, advertiser of many of the companies, so what we do is we first find out what are the interests of that particular person or type of the consumers. For instance, talk about students. What are their interests? So at this point of time, most of the students are having the interest in the World Cup of the current World Cup. Like talking about the
यस.
students who are O and A level students, most of them are going to have an interest in things like football, against the conventional student who has got interest in cricket most of the times. So generally we say
यस.
that we can filter out the students who have the interest in football and are watching the Qatar Football Cup, were watching it, and then their age element is from, like, let's suppose 13 to 21, 22, and then they live in this particular area or following any of the page of any of the school, like Roots, like any other. So what happens, if we target these people, the advertisement is only going to be shown to those people who are the potential customers. So that is how it goes. Rather than wasting 99.5% money, what we do is we are wasting less than like 30 to 40% of the money now. So 60%
यस
is
सर.
going into the right direction. So that is an efficiency. And that is how we have got it, through information technology or through technology. And businesses are getting the benefit out of it. Okay. Then one more thing that is related to the broaden the consumer base. So what is broadening of the consumer base? Broadening of the consumer base related to, right, rather than, let's suppose you start introducing a new uh, subject. For instance, talk about the academy has started a new subject like German language. Okay, they want to introduce this to the students who want to go abroad, obviously to the Germany. So what we're going to do is we just have to give a little bit tweak to our advertisement and add up a feature like anyone who has interest in Germany or following any page of Germany is a potential client of us having an age bracket of this. So we can target the customer again. So we can broader our consumer base if we're introducing a new product. So it becomes easy by using the information technology or simply technology. Then customer retention is becoming easy through consumer relationship management software. So you must have to research on this particular thing. What is consumer relationship management software? CRM software in short. CRM software actually takes all of the data of the consumer. Whenever you go to any particular shop, that CRM software actually registers your name and all of the products which you are actually buying. So whenever there is going to be a promotion on that particular product, what you're going to do is you're going to get an email or SMS alert that yes, we are having this percent off on this particular product, which you have bought 3 or 4 months earlier. So if you have bought that product 3 or 4 months earlier, that means you are the potential client as well. So consumer relationship management software are helping us out and it is automating the things. So we don't even have to send the emails or SMS to individuals. It is going to do all of its job automatically. So CRM is again developing the standards of the consumer retention. This way, if they keep on communicating with you, if you're getting an SMSs from the stores or the WhatsApp messages on the stores or emails from the stores that your favorite product is on sale, obviously you're going to like that idea. So you will like that, yes, I am really interested in these type of products and they are telling me that this is on sale, or they are giving me 20% off, or they are giving me the loyalty points on buying that particular product. So all of these things are done by the consumer relationship management rather than being done by the humans. So things are getting automated. So this is
Yes,
how
sir.
we have seen that the IT has transformed the overall businesses these days. And obviously, there is always a gap in the improvisation processes. Okay, so before moving on, any question in your mind so far related to these things?
Sir, customer retention like एक दफा repeat कर दें थोड़ा सा.
Okay, so customer retention is, let's suppose, what happens in the stores in Pakistan. What happens is you go to a store, you buy the product, check out at a system. Are they recording your name? Are they recording your mobile number? No, they never ask you for that. But what happens internationally is whenever you are actually checking out on a particular portal, what they do is they ask you for the mobile phone and your name most of the times. Why they're doing it? They are actually registering you and your mobile number against the products which you are buying. That has been done nearly on 100% of the websites in which you are buying only. So all of the e-commerce website like the ras.bk or any website which you are visiting, they ask you for your name, your mobile number, your address, and because they have to deliver the product to you, what they do is they actually record this information with them, input this data into the consumer relationship management software and track of it. So CRM software actually has a track of all of the products which you have bought earlier. So what happens at the end? Once there is a promotion on that particular product, it asks you to automatically send. So these are the potential people who have bought these products. For instance, talk about um, a product like a grocery store. Talk about a specific kind of a cake you have bought from a store. So if there is a promotion on that cake, what happens is the software will ask you so whether we can send the data, we can send the alerts to those customers that we are going to have a specific special offer on these cakes. So what happens is if you say yes, so all of the customers who have bought those cakes with their profiles in the past 1 month, they are going to get the alerts that we are offering this particular feature, we are offering this percentage off, or we are offering this specific promotion on these product, and if you want to buy it, just click here and we are going to send it to your home automatically. So the consumer relationship management do that thing. It is doing what it is doing actually, communicating between the retail store and a customer. Who is doing that? CRM software is doing that. And what happens after that? If any store contacts you for any promotions, the chances are greater for you, for that particular store, that you are going to buy the product from them, right? But what happens in
Okay.
Pakistan, countries like Pakistan, we don't get the alerts from these people. So the next time when we want to purchase any product, we are not thinking about that store specifically. We think about any store that is in our path, that is coming in our way. We are not loyal to the brands over there that much. Talking about the retail stores only, we're not that much loyal that, okay, I was buying the stuff from Carrefour, I keep on buying that from Carrefour every time. No, it's not like that. Sometime it will be Carrefour, sometime it will be Punjab Cash and Carry, sometime it will be something else. So what is happening? Actually, we're not becoming loyal to these brands. Why we're not actually loyal to these brands? Because these brands are not communicating with us. If you want to become loyal to anything, you have to communicate first. So CRM is actually communicating the stuff, helping us out to communicate the things, right? This is what they are doing, and bridging the gap between the customer and the businesses. Why businesses were not doing that earlier, just like countries like Pakistan? Why the people are not doing it? Because they don't have the CRM softwares with them. Because they think that whenever we want to contact any particular person, we have to hire a person who is going to send the SMSs or send the WhatsApp messages individually to all of them. Obviously, it's not a manual thing. It is an automated stuff. It has to be done through the CRMs. And very rarely you will see the CRM software has been adopted by the brands. So talking about Carrefour, they have it. Talking about the hypermarts over there, they have it. Talking about any international chain of stores, they have it. But unfortunately, talking about any retail stores which is operating in Pakistan locally, they don't have these CRM systems with them. They don't give you the promotions. There is no concept of promotions or
Okay,
loyalty,
sir.
right? So there is no
Yes, sir.
communication, and at the end, we're not getting the loyalty. And IT is helping us out in developing these relations with the customers, right? So we are using it on the websites, and now you can see that the RAS keeps is actually bombarding your email ID with their promotions every other day. They
Yes,
actually
yes,
bombard
sir.
it. Why they're doing it? Sometimes we get like, I personally, I don't like the idea of like sending the emails too much, so I unsubscribe them most of the times. But I still ask them whenever there is kind of a promotion on that specific thing, just let me know about that thing. I add that particular stuff
Okay.
in my wish list. So what is wish list?
Yes,
Whenever
sir.
the promotion is going to be contacted automatically. So this is done on the
Hmm.
website, but this is not done on the stores. So these stores can also adopt that thing very easily.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, there is still a gap in our society. Okay, so this is how the technology is actually helping us out in reaching the goals. So quickly, just cross things. What is the pros and cons of the technology? If we're adapting to the technology, what happens? Increased production and efficiency. That's what we have seen. Improved customer services. That's what we have seen already. Enhanced communication with the customer through the CRM systems. Then safe and secure storage of data is always there. So what about in the past, we were like piling up the files, uh, and
Yes, sir.
and to access the data was kind of a question mark, right? And then right now, accessing the historical data is just a click away now. So storage is and security of data is kind of a safety over there. Then global learning
Increase the password.
platforms. So talking about your own organization of LAC have got a global learning platform with them. They are trying to automate this stuff as much as they can, and I'm really impressed with specifically Sir Abu Bakr sir. He is too good in it that he keeps on innovating the things which are required in the education sector. So we have got a very good platform that is kind of becoming an automated one for the students, that they can access the things whenever they want it. And then it helps physically challenged people, obviously, and then making life easier and convenient. Healthcare and medicine is getting the benefit out of it. So these were the advantages. Talking about the disadvantages, we will discuss this particular thing in detail in the later class as well. I will start from these pros and cons of the technology, and then we'll wrap up the things because there's just less than 1 minute remaining over there. So this is all about the technology and the advantages of the technology, which we see with the impacts in our real lives in the businesses, right?
Okay, sir.
Inshallah, we'll
Okay.
discuss about these advantages this one in the next class, and
Okay, sir.
most probably on the Monday. And whenever you want to have any particular question, it is, so feel free to contact me anytime, right?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.